Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Dunya Safwan, and I'm here to guide you through the energies of this full moon that is happening on the 7th of September. This full moon happens to be also a total lunar eclipse, as it happens close to the nodal axis that is currently in Virgo Pisces. Before we dive into the information of this moon, I want to share with you that this is a very special moon. It is full of energies that are very subtle, very fine, very crystalline, and it really is a moon of recalibrations at many, many levels: emotional, karmic, cellular, and the deep information that we carry is being brought to the surface in many ways. Each of us will experience that in a different way. And because of that, it signals the passage between a level of consciousness to the next. It's almost like we're getting realigned by shedding old things that we need to work through, release, heal, transmute, etc. So for that reason, you can feel the intensity of this moon in many ways. It can be feeling very tired, or on the contrary, not being able to sleep, feeling weird, irritable, emotionally very sensitive, all of the above and more. So just be aware that the energies are very strong, and then, they can provoke things that are unusual. What is the core message and the core invitation of this moon? So this moon is happening at 15 degrees 22 of Pisces, with the sun on the opposite side of the zodiac at 15 degrees 22 of Virgo. So what is highlighted mainly here is our ability to be an open bridge between heaven and earth, which is actually our original design. Our design is to be the bridge between heaven and earth in many, many ways, shapes, or form, at least through the 12 aspects of the zodiac. But just to give you an example, so in this full moon and lunar eclipse, what we're looking at is the qualities or the attributes of how we bridge heaven and earth according to the archetypes of Pisces and Virgo, which is the axis where it is happening. Pisces, where the moon is what connects us to the infinite, the dreamer, the divine source. Virgo is where the sun is, teaches us how to ground spirit into matter. It's the body as a living temple. Is the most finely incarnated archetype of the entire zodiac. It also bears a notion of service, which we'll see a little bit later. The Pisces Virgo axis is also, if you remember previous meditations and previous readings, this is where the masters gather during the Vesak moon that happens in Taurus, where they hold space and for the advancement of humanity. So it is a very important axis out of all the pairs, let's say, that are in the zodiac. So what we're receiving with this moon is a very, very high vibration energy, so that we can step in that axis, we can step into those attributes of both Pisces and Virgo, and be the most grounded and grounding the most of our divinity. I see it as a very shamanic moon. Virgo is also very linked to shamanism because of its deep and intimate relationship with Earth. So for me, it's a very shamanic full moon, where for its alchemical world, but also for its very, very high vibration. Let's look at the main themes for this moon. One of the big themes is related to karma and karmic completion. So eclipses are turning points, and lunar eclipses in particular brings closure, completion, release. It's a culmination point, especially around the themes that are very, very deep in our unconscious and subconscious. They act as a very strong full moon on these themes in particular. Um, Eclipse also have a long-lasting effect, so the changes and the transformation that we are likely to go through right now, individually and collectively, are likely to last. So we just move to another state of being. I would encourage you to find where 15 degrees of Pisces is in your chart and check that house. And so this is where you're likely to experiment most of the effect of this moon. And I would encourage you to ask yourself, what are you finally ready to release or to observe around you? If there any type of conflict that is arising, be it, I don't know, it can be with your family, it can be with work, it can be with your friends, it can be in many, many areas. See where this moon is pointing you to and where it's requiring you to do your own alchemy of that subject. So, yeah, and the karmic completion is really related to the fact that it's in the nodal axis, which bears the information of karma. Let's take a look at the energy of Pisces. So, Pisces is the most sensitive sign of the zodiac. So, for that reason, the intensity of this eclipse can be felt very strongly and it can feel very charged emotionally. So, have that in mind, not to be overwhelmed without understanding what's happening to you. So the archetype of Pisces holds the idea of transcendence, the dream. This is the point or the archetype in the zodiac where everything emerges from and where everything returns to. It's the end of the cycle of the zodiac. So it's a kind of a paradoxical archetype in the sense that this is where the dream is created, but it's also where the dreamer is created at the same time. So for me, this moon, through its happening in the archetype of Pisces, is asking us for discernment, for inner vision, to wake up and remember that we are the dreamer and the dream, that we created the dream that we are experimenting, which is the incarnation that we are living. So this is the vision that we are asked to open to. I'm sure many of you know that at a mental level, but here it's really, and that's why there's so much high vibration, is to have us experiment it, to remember it in our flesh, in our bones, in the way we are incarnated, and to learn that the experiences that we are going through are ways to bring new information and new fruits to Pisces to when we finish our travel around the zodiac. So let's look at what is happening in more detail and the aspects that are present and available for this moon. Just a foreword and a warning, there are a lot of fixed stars and master stars that are activated by this moon to a degree that in the years that I've been doing these readings, I haven't seen to that degree. So it says a lot about the intensity. It says a lot about the type of information that is available, about its how fine and how subtle it is. But like everything, because it's so subtle, it's going to shake all the densest parts of us. So let's start with the moon and where it is. So the moon sits exactly conjunct to the degree to the fixed star Achernar, which is the brightest star in the constellation of Eridanus. I know many of these stars you've never heard before, and it's constellations that are not usually used. Don't worry, I will explain what the concept or what the energy of each star is. So this one is Aterna. And as I often say, the energy of fixed stars is very powerful. They function like with a very tight orb, which means they are active when they connect to a planet or to another star within 1 to 2 degrees maximum, which is very, very tight. And here it's at the exact same degree as the moon. So which means it's very potent, it's very active, and it's delivering its maximum level of energy. And so Ashtanar is means the end of the river in Arabic, and it was twisted so that it was pronounceable. So and at the end of the river, what happens is where the tears and suffering dissolve, because there they're going to meet the sea. So this is the general atmosphere carried by this fixed star. And this carries 2 gifts. The first gift of this star is the sword of light that helps us clear illusion, Maya. You have all heard of Maya, the illusion according to Eastern wisdom, which is Maya is what prevents us from remembering that we are the dream and the dreamer. So Ashanad gives us a sword of light to cut through that illusion and to help us find our way back to the tree of life. And this is what I was mentioning earlier, that the experiences that we are having on Earth, when we manage to alchemize them and transmute them, they bring fruits. Behind every conflict, behind every pain, suffering that you have managed to overcome and transcend, you have always find and you will always find a gift that you already have, or it's a gift that you acquire. So this is one of the meanings of this fixed star. The other beautiful, beautiful gift of this star is the song of the cherubim. The cherubim are a hierarchy of the angels, and they're very, very high up, very close to source. And their choir, their song, their vibration helps us elevate our hearts towards divine source. It's a beautiful symbolism that we are dealing with here, sitting right on the moon. Also, this star is said to open the doors for healing as it connects to the healers of the sky or of the heavens. And isn't that wonderful? Since we are sitting on the nodal axis, where some of the work for this moon is about clearing karmic issues, let's say, then we have divine help or celestial help to clear that. So what does that mean? It means also that all our wounds, emotional, karmic, can be transmuted when we shift into a higher perspective, because this is what it's telling us. The choir is lifting us up to go above and to find a higher perspective, a higher vantage point on our trauma, our conflicts, our issues, our wounds. And the sword of light is helping us to cut through all the drama that comes with that trauma. So it helps a lot with discernment, with healing, with understanding really in its primordial sense, which is getting to the meaning that is hidden behind every conflict. What else do we have? The second interesting information that we have with this moon is carried by a finger of God, which is a sacred geometry, let's say, or a geometrical shape in the chart for this moon. That involves 3 feminine archetypes. The finger of God, or Yod, is considered a powerful kind of connection between planets and stars. And it's usually pointing at something that is really at the level of destiny, something that is really, really strong, that is meant to happen. And here we have three feminine archetypes involved in this geometry. We have Vega, another fixed star, and Master Star, which holds the energy of the cosmic weaver, the music of the spheres, the divine mother, the matrix. Is the star that holds the memory of vibration, the original vibration that gave birth to all that is. So when we hear the phrase at the beginning, there was the verb, that refers to the vibration that came out through the archetype born by Vega. So that's one of the stars that are associated in this triangle. The second is the moon. And as we saw together with Asharnar, the moon representing here our inner waters, the mother archetype, the carrier of memory and of emotion. And the third feminine archetype that is connected here is Venus, who is in Leo, which is the sovereign embodiment, the harmony, the creative power, and the feminine in its relationship also to the masculine in traditional astrology. So here, what is happening in this triangle is that they are inviting us to restore balance in the feminine principle, not only in women, but in the feminine, let's say, aspect of us, all of us. As you know, we both bear the masculine and the feminine aspect within us. And we are in balance where both have occupied their right place and are expressed in balance, both of them. So this is a really very strong reminder of all the attributes of the feminine that have been somewhat, let's say, suppressed or not allowed to be expressed in their full, how do I say that, in their full potential, but also in the full balance between the feminine and the masculine. And here there's a strong call for that to be brought back. It's Venus in Leo that is at the point of the triangle, and this is where it's pointing at. It's pointing at the sovereignty as the right place of the feminine and fully embodied, so that it can recover its natural place in the cosmos and in the design of the world, really. So pay attention to that, to all the attributes related to the feminine, as I said, the receptivity, all of this, and see how that manifests in these current days. This eclipse has has influence, like have had influence a few days before, and will probably have influence a little bit more. So see where that manifests. But also, I think it's also an invitation to recover those aspects within and to bring them back into their right place and in the right balance with the masculine aspects. Now, we also have another very, very important star that is super active here, and it's Sirius, which is also a master star and a fixed star, and that forms a beautiful trine, which is a very flowy, positive, fluid aspect. So it forms a trine with the moon and a sextile with the sun. Again, another very easy and flowy aspect, a little bit more minor, not as major as a trine, but still very positive and very benevolent. So who is Sirius? Sirius is sometimes called the son of our sun, in the sense that if the sun is our personality, the I, Sirius would be our higher self, the Am. It is the guardian of the south, the direction of our expansion, and it is said to emit a very, very fine energy. that we don't understand all of it in the current level of consciousness of humanity right now. It is also said that Sirius keeps the ancient Egyptian codes of alchemy. And it was celebrated as the star of the alchemists and the initiates. What it symbolizes here is the light of the guides that illuminates or burns, because that's what alchemy is about. Alchemical processes bear both the shadow side and the bright side, as you probably know. So theories will light up our path when we are committed to doing our work, when we look at our shadows, do our inner work, and will bring up the conflict where we are not coherent and where we need to move forward, where we need to advance in our spiritual path. It's in that sense that it's the guide that illuminates or burns, because it will bring forth the conflicts that need to be resolved so that we can move on. And you recognize here the pattern of the alchemical processes. So here, with its connection with the sun and the moon, it invites us to balance the sun and the moon. And again, this hints at the masculine and the feminine, the positive and the negative, and to bring back things into balance. And with Vega, guardian of the north, and Sirius, guardian of the south, this the north being our point of origin. Remember Vega, the symbolism of Vega, but also north being the point of stability, and Sirius being the guardian of the south, the place of expansion. This eclipse and the way these two planets are connected with the sun and moon, and with the other planets that are present and where they are present in the sky, it realigns us with our origin and our direction of expansion. So I find it very interesting, because as this moon is happening in the nodal axis, which is also talking about our destiny and where we come from, here we access the next level of the next octave of our axis, and it is born by Sirius and Vega here. What else is happening? We have more alchemy symbolism in this moon with Mercury. Mercury, which is also Hermes, is tightly conjunct the sun, really sitting next to it to 5 degrees apart, which is pretty active. And Mercury is squaring 2 master stars, so more fine energy, more super fine fixed star light and vibration. And those master stars are Antares and Aldebaran, which are the guardians of the west and the east. They're connected to the third eye and the crown, and we're going to look at their symbolism right now. Aldebaran is the eye of God and the guardian of the east. It's the master star that gives us the will, the strength to progress in our path and to elevate ourselves towards the most luminous light in the heavens. So this is what gives us the strength to move on. And Antares, also called the heart of the Scorpio in the west, is the one that helps us transmute our shadows, purify our emotions. It's in the west where the sun goes down, where we meet the shadows, And Antares is going to help us to release the illusion, open our hearts, and by doing this work, it will give us access and open us to the celestial hierarchies. So each of us will help us towards more consciousness, light, this is consciousness, through different ways. So what does that mean? That Mercury is squaring those 2 stars? Well, in essence, you can see it is asking us to rebuild that bridge, or to open or to repair that bridge between heaven and earth. Antares, the star of transmutation, to heal, alchemize old patterns held in the body, to bring clarity, to release collective karma, to work on ourselves, to transmute the experiences, past and present, including things we inherited, things that are stored in our body. And this is part of the things that can arise during this eclipse, is things that we don't even know what it is, but they are things we inherited and we accepted to carry from our ancestry or our lineage. So by working through that, we remember, we reopen that channel between Virgo and Pisces, which is find the gifts, find the fruits that our experiences can deliver to us. This is what it is. This is what the bridge between heaven and earth is to remember that connection. So yeah, note the amount of fine energy that is pouring, and that is stirring the shadows. So yeah, if you're feeling discomfort, it's for, I want to say, if it's for a good reason, I invite you anyways to see what's coming up and what's coming to the surface, and to listen to how it wants to be healed and transmuted, because Pisces is the dreamer, the one that initiates the dream, but also is a great channel for inspiration and for receiving information through dreams, through inspiration, through, sudden ideas that, you don't know where they're coming from, and that help you navigate reality right now. What else? Okay, brief word. I don't want to get too much into this, but by this eclipse, there will be many, many planets that are retrograde. Saturn started to be retrograde on the 3rd of September. Uranus goes retrograde one day before the eclipse. Neptune is already retrograde. Pluto is already retrograde. So that's a lot of revisions that we need to do of structures with Saturn. Uranus will be bringing disruptions by going backwards, or hidden truth that will be emerging. Neptune in Aries will ask us to review what is our dream, what are our inspiration, what is it that we want to create. And Pluto, obviously, always talking about the collective transformation, the shifts of power, and again, the planet of transmutation. So it is really a time to sit, listen, tune within, go within, listen inward, what you're hearing, what you're perceiving, to, if possible, find the time and allow yourself the time to integrate everything that is shifting, to give yourself space, time for clarity, to analyze. The mantra for Virgo is I analyze, which means, just take the time to understand what is happening, why it's happening, what it hints at, how you can heal it, And to finish, I want to share with you the Sabian symbol for this degree where the moon is at the moment in Pisces. So the Sabian symbol is, in the quiet of his study, a creative individual experiences a flow of inspiration, which is lovely because it speaks about what we mentioned earlier, about inspiration, about the creation, about quietness, silence. So it reinforces the fact really that this is a time of stillness, to do your personal work, to remember that we are creators. That's the other word for the alchemist, the one who can create from our shadows, and to allow yourself to receive all the flow of inspiration and the fine energies that are all over during that period of time. Um, what else? Yeah, also look after your body, rest, try to eat well or to eat what you need, what your body is requiring, sorry, is asking for. I mean, Virgo is very related to that, to nutrition as well, to the details. So yeah, honor your temple, your body, and see what it needs as well, because that's what holds the spirit, and this is what holds the energy that we are receiving. And this is also what holds the ancient memories, all the karmic memories and all the subconscious memories that are stored in our bodies. So it's a very good time to, be very gentle and very attentive to our body. Okay. Here we are. Let's take a moment to ask the people of Inner Earth if they have any additional message for us today. Hope this reading was clear and it hope it helps you go through the intensity of this eclipse. Let me ask, what other information or advice? Okay. We have a message from the Atlanteans, the ancient Atlanteans, and it speaks about the organized void. This is, you can see it? I think there's a whale in the middle. There is a tower. Colors, and there's whales, cetaceans floating. Let's see what that means. All right. The creative visualization has the power to go beyond the laws of physics. But to reach such a level, you must see matter and forms like an organized void. It is the void that creates the forms, because form is always designed from the void. We recommend you to see the things that are not manifested yet as void that needs to be put in order. You must focalize on this subtle alchemy and accompany it with your superior will. Nourish it with your love and your faith in the creative light. At the summit of our ancient city, we, the ancient Atlanteans, would build buildings by the mere power of the visualization, the creative visualization. The ascension key is, it is from the void that the plans of the universe are born through us. It is from the void that are born the plans of the universe through you or through us. Wonderful. All right. Let's go now to the meditation. I invite you to find a comfortable position. I'll share the music. Find a comfortable position, sitting on a chair or in a meditation position, legs crossed. And when you're ready, Close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your breath. And set the intention that with each inhale, enter the temple within. And with each exhale, you release any tension from your body, any distractions, any noise, releasing it and leaving it behind. While having your awareness on your breath, entering your temple, I invite you to become aware of the points of contact that you have with the chair where you're sitting or on the ground. In your connection to Earth. And become aware of your spine. Make sure it is vertical, elongated, reaching up to the sky. Feel free to wobble a little bit. Find the right position for you. And when you're ready, come back to stillness. Imagine, feel, or visualize yourself sitting or standing at the threshold of your heart, your holy of holies, the place where heaven and earth meet, where time and space meet. And together, let's enter the Holy of Holies. Bring your awareness to the upper right chamber of your heart, which is where it's collected the blood that has gathered all the carbon dioxide from your entire organism. This is the hall of remembrance, the place where your soul's memory are kept. See the golden light illuminating that chamber, gentle and soft, very delicate. Take a deep breath and imagine opening this chamber. Here, I receive the memory of who I am. Feel the echoes of your origin. The memories of your soul. and all what you carried before the veil of forgetfulness. Feel all that information being awakened there. See what comes to your consciousness, which memories, which information, what requires your attention right now. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now shift your awareness slightly downward into the lower right chamber. This is the chamber transmutation. Here, what no longer serves is presented for purification and transmutation. Imagine gentle violet gold light illuminating that chamber and dissolving all the suffering from the past. Here, I offer my wounds, my false identities, my attachments, and I return them to the flame of clarity and forgiveness. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And with the exhale, I release all the conflicts, all the memories, all the karma, the trauma stored in your field. And as you release, as you let go, feel your heart becoming lighter, clearer. Feel the spirit blowing its breath into that chamber, purifying the memories. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And bring your awareness to the upper left chamber of your heart. This is the chamber of inspiration, where the purified blood arrives, infused with oxygen, with spirit. Here, you receive messages from your intuition, messages from your soul, and the breath from higher planes. Allow yourself to receive inspiration and for this chamber to open like a window of light. Here, I receive the guidance of my higher self. Here, I open to the voice of silence. How images, sensation, words, ideas, and whispers to come to my consciousness. This is where the divine speaks within, beyond words, where I can receive my guidance. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I go to the lower left chamber, the last chamber. This is a chamber of radiance, where the purified blood flows outward, carrying the essence of life to every cell. It's in this chamber that lives the impulse to serve, to act from the heart, to embody divine will, the impulse of the heart that shines unconditionally. In this chamber, I choose to act from love, and I let my heart guide my hands, my words, my presence. Feel this chamber pulsing, sending waves of warmth, joy, vitality through my entire being. This is the point where I am the bridge between heaven and earth. The temple where divine love and divine will becomes action. And then now I connect to the 4 chambers. Each one accomplishing its purpose. connecting my experience to my divinity, bringing the spirit into matter. And I realize that two chambers receive and two chambers give. Two are feminine, two are masculine, two are negative, and two are positive. All four working in balance, leading into each other. Weaving the spirit with matter and matter with spirit, breath after breath, heartbeat after heartbeat. Creating balance and harmony. Embodying the four cardinal points of space and time. I place my hands on my heart. I remember who I am. I release what I no longer need. I receive the voice of the Spirit. And I radiate love into the world with every one of my actions. I am the world axis. I am the one that unites time and space in harmony. I am the heartbeat of the cosmos, incarnated. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And from my heart, I expand this information to my entire body. Allowing every cell, every organ, every muscle to receive it through my touch, through my intention. Embodying all the information that we received today. I stretch and yawn, and when I'm ready, I can open my eyes. Thank you very much for being here today. I wish you a luminous, beautiful full moon, and wish you to go through it with all the grace, all the will, all the love, and all the wisdom. And I will see you on the other side. See you in 2 weeks for the solar eclipse and the new moon in Virgo, the second new moon in Virgo for this month. Ciao, ciao. See you soon. Bye.